Honourable member for no. Battle River Crowfoot.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. What has been very, very interesting in this discussion is we are seeing the NDP desperate to distract from the fact that they are forced to abandon their principles and prop up one of the most corrupt regimes in Canadian history. You have corruption on one side and lazy corruption in the leader of the NDP over there. But, Madam Speaker, here is my question that's very specific. Why is that member, through the forcing through, limiting debate on standing orders, something that should be able to be done through consensus, why is he showing Canadians that he and those Liberals, the NDP and the Liberals, are allergic to work when it's certainly that member has obviously never pulled a calf on a cold March morning, certainly never sat in a combine at 3 a.m. in September when we know that the weather is turning. Why are they so terrified of working for Canadians in this place? And specifically to that member, why is he so bent on propping up the corruption that we see within the Liberal Party?
Member for New Westminster Burnaby.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. First off, the Harper regime was the most corrupt in Canadian history. I don't need to mention that members of the Harper regime went to jail. Does the member not remember this? Does he not remember Conservative members of Parliament being led away in handcuffs? Secondly, Madam Speaker, for him to raise the issue of working people to a person like myself who worked as a laborer for many years, worked the midnight shift in factories, worked in an oil refinery, did real hard work, when the member from Carleton's sum total of work experience before he arrived with the incredible Conservative milk machine of pouring all kinds of money in young Conservative candidates, his sum total of work was 1 month in a Dairy Queen. That's all he brought. No work experience whatsoever, and yet the member tries to question the work experience of real working MPs that are here. A farmer behind me, the member from Owens Transcona, worked as an electrician. People who did real work, who got their boots dirty, and the member from Carleton actually showed on Twitter his boots with a little bit of...
The honourable member for Battle River Crowfoot is rising on a point of order.
Madam Speaker, I think Canadians demand an answer from that MP as to whether or not he's saying that younger Canadians should or should not be involved in politics, because that is an absolute disgrace.
That is debate. That is not a point of order. That is debate. And I will allow the honourable member for New Westminster Burnaby to finish his answer.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The sum total of work experience outside the Conservative Party and all this money that comes from billionaires for Conservatives was a month in a Dairy Queen. And for somebody to try to run and say that they have the experience to run a country when all they've done is worked in a Dairy Queen, aside from the very conservative, infrastructure, I think is a little too rich. The member from Burnaby South, who is the leader of the NDP, brings a rich work experience, not only working in a whole variety of manual labor and service jobs, but also working as a lawyer.